Hey guys, Cdrama Invasion here. Welcome back to another wrap-up video. I skipped last month since I was on a little slump and I ended up being like really late to the party, and it's kind of happening this month as well. So this month will just be a wrap-up of everything from October to November. Let's start off with dramas that I ended up dropping in my slump. So first off, it was Light Chaser Rescue. I did enjoy a lot of the elements in terms of the research and stuff. They even got shouted out by the rescue teams in China, which was great to see that they were accurately depicting stuff. But I just thought it was so slow later on, especially when I had my slump. I was like not in the mood for it. So I might put it on hold, but I might just drop it indefinitely too. I do like the second couple the most, if we're talking romance. I don't think the leads should have had a romantic storyline. They should have just stuck to making the second leads the main couple. I think that would have been way more interesting. But if you've completed it, do you recommend me to continue watching? Or should I just cut my losses and spend time watching something else? The next drama I finished was A Romance of Little Forest. So this one I finished before really my slump happened, and I had a couple of episodes to catch up on, and that was it. For the most part, this is 100% that drama where you skip everything but the main leads. At first it was already a little bit slow, and then there was this separation arc, which I definitely did not enjoy. It was one of the reasons why it was so dreadful, and I started dropping the ratings really quickly. This was probably at least like a 6.5 or 7, but then after the separation arc, I would say it was around like 5 out of 10, because half of it was really just BS, and the writers just tried to put a lot of padding and filling, and I think that they should have cut it down to like 20 episodes, maybe 24. I did find a little bit of redemption near the end when I think it was episode 27 to 29. It started getting interesting because the female lead was after this gang of like poachers, and they had to pretend to be an undercover couple. I think that was great. It was definitely the most invested I've ever been in the drama. And I really wanted that type of storyline to go on, but they dealt with it in like 3 episodes, which was unfortunate because it was probably the best part. And I was watching the full episodes through. I do see the chemistry, like it's great when they're in that type of environment, and later on it's just, it got so draggy just to get there. Like how many episodes until they got together? Like 30, and there's like 36 in total. A lot of it was like one-sided love. This girl is chasing him, and then misunderstanding happens, or he's not into her yet, so then it takes another 10 episodes for him to feel the same way, but then something happens, then they get separated. I'm literally summing up the entire drama for you in like 2 minutes. And then they work together and fall in love. Also, what was the point of the second male lead? Like, I thought he would have a more prominent role, but he was just out here delivering her like lunches or something. So yeah, that was pointless, but you know what? The OST is so catchy and it's still stuck in my head. So at least there's that. Honestly, this could have been very short, to the point, and way better in my opinion. I have no problems with the actors or the acting at all. I would just say that I think SRU is a little bit typecasted now, where a lot of her drama roles are very optimistic and like perky, and sometimes very over the top. I'm used to it, but I would like to see something different from her. So yeah, I would give this like 5, maybe 5.5 out of 10, since the cute moments were really cute and sweet, but we had to wait like almost the entire drama to get there. The next drama I managed to complete was Fox Volant, or Side Story of Fox Volant. I thought this was great. Apparently it follows the exact storyline, so I don't have too much complaints about it, except that I was more interested in Miao Renfeng's story. I think he was the character played by Lin Yunshen, and he was probably one of the reasons why I got so captivated from the first few episodes, and I really wanted more from him. I felt like we just went into this like love triangle, and also the villain was a little bit redundant. I thought we would have more, but he was literally that type of person that has plot armor. Basically, he would scheme against the main characters and somehow always gets away with it. He would run into random people that also hates the main lead, so then they would just team up. And then he gives me like Team Rocket vibes, where he keeps on going back and back, trying to do the same things with like different people. And I was like, come on, we can't even think of a better villain, or like just add in something else. Like, this was kind of annoying. Especially when there were so many times where the male lead just let him go or his son go. And I'm like, you know they're gonna come back to scheme against you. But he did it anyways, and then he had to pay for the consequences, and then he vows that he'll get his revenge, and it takes him forever to do so because we're in a wuxia world where there's like no phones or Wi-Fi, so you can't just find him, and they have to travel and meet a bunch of other people, yada yada yada. I mean, I thought that the villain storyline was very weak, but everything aside from that I was okay with. How did I feel about the ending? Let's just say it's a very old school type of Chinese drama ending. So considering that this is an older storyline that follows those types of tropes, I wasn't too surprised, to be honest. But yeah, I still give this a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. I thought the acting was solid across the board. I didn't feel like it was draggy or anything, but for sure looking back, I'm kind of like, yeah, there were a lot of times, especially regarding the villain, that it shouldn't have turned out that way, or they could have saved so much time by just dealing with him earlier on. Now let's talk about some other dramas that I completed. So the first one is a K-drama called Blind. This one, the first half, I said that I enjoyed, and then I was hoping that the second half will follow through, just because Big Mouth has scarred me, and recently I think a lot of K-dramas just don't land the ending, and it's so difficult for them to, especially with 16 episodes. It always feels so rushed. And my final thoughts on this is that episode 13 alone deserves a standing ovation. I always like to jot down notes on the episodes that I thought was like the standout of the entire drama. So I'm so happy that we got that. The acting was so perfect. The panning of the camera made my heart stop at moments. And I know I'm being vague for those who haven't seen the drama, but I don't want to spoil you guys anything. Essentially, Blind, the concept is you have one case and 12 juries plus like some other people, like the policeman or the law system, the judge, and somehow somebody keeps on picking them off one by one. I was surprised how dark this got and how much I cared about the characters. Some of my favorite things is that, well, don't search it up, but there's something hidden in the poster, and the fact that the marketing team just thought of that is just genius to me. I thought it was so mind-boggling and so great. Like I said, there's a lot of dark topics regarding children and injustice. There's the welfare system case, and it's very tragic, heartbreaking, and gruesome. Lots of death, super bloody at times. They kind of zoomed out, but you can definitely tell it's super disturbing. There were some moments that felt like The King of Pigs for me, which is absolutely my favorite K-drama this year, maybe for a while. I did still feel like there were some moments, especially that last episode, that could have been fleshed out. This one deserves like at least just 1 or 2 more episodes just to get everybody's perspective, and we're just not rushing through everything. But was I satisfied? Yes, I was satisfied. I was shook with some of these plot twists that were honestly crazier and crazier, but in its own way, everything makes sense. It's very complicated, and you know I adore complicated characters and writing. I heard Weak Hero Class, season 1 is all of the rage right now, and it's on my to watch list. It has similar themes of bullying and children, dark past, stuff like that. So I'm excited for that. If I manage to watch it, I'll probably do so in December. Yeah, Blind gets a like 8.5 out of 10 from me. This was super fun to watch. Really powerful ending. I got chills and couldn't take my eyes off the screen for the last like 4 episodes. Love the casting. Eunji, I think she got a little bit overshadowed near the end, but overall still great. The other two dramas are Thai BLs. The first one is called The Eclipse, and this one is one that I started a while ago, and then I just had to catch up after my slump. So this is a 12-episode series that follows a private high school that is basically cult-like. The whole system here is a little bit mysterious. And there were a couple of past deaths in the school, which led to this rumor of this legendary curse happening. I found myself invested in the story, and I was looking forward to it more and more. I think you should give this one like maybe 3 or 4 episodes before you really start understanding what's going on. I thought the main couple was cute, but there were like 2 couples, and one of them should have been like a faster couple, and then the other one should be like the slower one, just to have that balance. I felt like not a lot was happening until like the second half, or like the very last third act, and by then it felt a little bit fast since everything was happening all at once, and I didn't have enough time to enjoy those sweeter moments because those mystery sections were like overpowering it too. So I would say that the mixing of the genres here isn't the best. But what got me to stick with this one was just how intriguing the storyline about the institutional power play, how there's so much pressure on the different types of leaders and the different camps of the school. Of course, you're going to have cliques and various people with different ideologies, and the way that the school was just trying to shut it down was really scary, especially coming from the perspective of the main lead, who is basically the goody two-shoes. He's the class president, student council president, so he has to basically enact these values. But after falling in love with the opposite side, someone with a rebellious mind that really wants the school to change and just wants to understand the truth and just expose them for all of their past wrongs, it was very difficult for the main lead to pick a side, of course, and that was a very well written component. I thought it was a missed opportunity for them to not have 13 episodes. 13, it would tie into the curse and stuff and would have made the last episode feel more substantial and powerful. So a lot of people I've seen online has the same take as me, where the revelations are good. It's just they were happening all in 1 or 2 episodes, so you don't have time to really process them. It's like, here is what actually happened, and you're like, oh, okay. And then they don't really give you time to sit with it. They're just like, here's the next portion. It's chaotic, it's crazy. And then like an episode later, it's like, oh, we resolved everything. We're gonna wrap it up in a neat little bow. And something about that is just a little bit unrealistic for me and a bit disappointing, since we had such a good premise going here. But yeah, I would give this overall still a 7. I think it was solid. It's interesting for a drama with only 12 episodes, around like 35 to 40 minutes each. It's still a good choice if you're looking for something with a little bit more deeper themes and is still in that academic setting. And last but definitely not least, and I actually unintentionally left the best one last. So this is 180-degree longitude passes through us. Man, such a mouthful, but is it worth it? Definitely. This only has 8 episodes. It's a Thai drama that I would say does not really have BL elements until the end, but the whole stories, like conflicts and things around it, is very deep-rooted, and it's mostly about family and trauma. So here you have a mom and a son. So the father character, or the husband character, passed away a long time ago. The mom is a very successful director, and because of this, her personality is very out there. She's very in the clouds with fantasy, super optimistic, over the top at times. And she's basically that cool friend or that cool aunt, but she treats her son like her friend. And the relationship is complicated. They do have so much love for each other, but because of the trauma regarding the father or husband character passing away early, they have very different ideals in life. The son is very much into living his life free, traveling and just not taking the traditional route. Meanwhile, the mom really wants him to, you know, get into school, at least get a degree before he starts anything, which is very understandable. And this is what makes this drama so good. It's that you understand both characters and both sides from the very beginning. With 8 episodes, you cannot try to cover so much here. So it's very intimate in the way that they have written the dialogues. It's incredible. The acting really knocked it out of the park here, especially with Pond, the male lead. The mom did a phenomenal job. Lots of crying, intense like dialogue, shouting, screaming, fighting, and very deep dives into their characters. So there's not really romance. The romance comes, but it's a little bit up to the audience to interpret whether or not it was reciprocal. It's complicated, it's messy, and it feels very real. So the main love interest is actually somebody from the mom's past, so a very close friend of hers. There was so much tension in the air, even when nobody was talking to each other, just by being in the same room. There's so many layers to this. There are like symbolic moments and things that you really think about, or sometimes you need to pause and go back to. I thought that the camera work here and the landscape is just breathtaking. It does end up taking place in In's house, which is surrounded by lush scenery and just miles and miles of lush, beautiful nature. I think one of my favorite things ever is whenever they put such a beautiful title or just call the drama something, I want to know why. And they do address it in the first like 10 minutes of this drama, and it suits the theme. From the first 5 minutes, you have an understanding of what type of drama this will be and the mood. This is one of a kind in terms of drama for Thailand. Not even BL. I feel like some of these BLs are very innovative now, and I'm so happy because you don't have to be about the main romance. You can be about trauma, about grief, about friendship, relationships, and just trying to navigate through what you want in life. This was all of that. There was actually no real like romance going on, so don't go in expecting that. If you go in just knowing that this is going to be beautiful, complicated, full of character growth and development, you will definitely enjoy it more. Also, the setup with how the mom and him are, it's just like, how can you not root for these two people? And now that they're fighting intensely on their views, and as a viewer, you understand where they're both coming from. It's so difficult to pick a side, and that's such a wonderful thing that they can portray through a screen. Although there was no like explicit romance, this gave me like the Untamed vibes with the tension and the things that are just unsaid in their actions, their gazes, nonverbal cues like that. Makes the chemistry so strong even when nothing is happening. That is very impressive to me, especially for, I think some of these actors are quite new or they have not had any prominent roles in the past. So like, wow. Honestly, anything with family stuff is refreshing because we usually only focus on younger generations, their views, ideals and stuff. But seeing the way the mom loves the child so much, but how they don't see eye to eye is heartbreaking. Even though I'm saying it's complicated, there's all these deeper themes, it's not depressing at all. It just feels like this mellow feeling. I can't really describe it. Maybe a little bit nostalgic, a little bit melancholy. Every episode always have these very poetic sentences that has double or even triple meanings. So yeah, I ended up giving this one a 9.5 out of 10. It's definitely something that will get me for a long time. The ending scene was just perfect in my opinion. The message really got to me. So many beautiful, emotionally vulnerable moments here. I love this one. As for dramas that I started but haven't gotten like too far, I think I'll just keep it for December reviews, is Lighter and Princess as well as Alice in Borderland. Alice in Borderland, it's very good. I can definitely finish it in a sitting, but I am taking it slow just because I want to watch the second season right after. So that one is going to air December, I think near Christmas, like 22nd, 23rd. So I really enjoy Alice in Borderland. If you haven't seen it, you should before the second season comes out. As for drama reviews, you'll probably see from me next month is Lighter and Princess. I'm probably going to finish the entire drama before I review it though, since I'm kind of behind and, you know, everybody's already ahead. But I'm enjoying it so far. I think the chemistry is great. Chen Fei-yu especially impressed me with his eyes, so expressive, and you can tell how tender he is when he looks at her. It's really sweet. That's all I'll say about those for now. Unexpected Falling, I'm trying to catch up to. I'm like on episode 20. And yeah, that's it for now. New Life Begins too. I have no real plans to start anything else, maybe Happiness, but I doubt I'll be able to watch anything until like December 10th because of all of my assignments and work projects. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this one. Let me know if you have any recommendations you think I'd like. Always appreciate your comments and your thoughts or recommendations. Also, what are you guys watching for K-dramas right now? I really can't get into anything. People are into like, I think Golden Spoon or Reborn Rich, but I'm not into that politics, rich people drama, etc. Oh, as for She and Her Perfect Husband, I think I'm gonna drop it or put it on hold for now. It's a little bit long for me already, so I have no patience to sit through it. But I will see your reviews and comments and stuff after it's completed and decide if I should continue or not. Yeah, that's it for me. Everything you need is in the description below. Links to previous drama reviews if you haven't checked it out yet. And I'll see you guys in the next video.